not a good 2 minutes, but after that I think it was a very good performance, very good reaction, and obviously a good game, dominated, good goals, and now we move on.
The Merseyside derby has always been known for its intensity, its raw emotion, and its ability to split an entire city in half. But this edition of the clash between Liverpool and Everton will go down in history as one of the most fiery encounters yet, as Virgil van Dijk unleashed his dark side on James Tarkowski in a game that left no doubt about who rules Merseyside. From the moment the two captains locked eyes, the atmosphere inside the stadium felt like it was on the edge of eruption, and it did not disappoint. In the build-up to this derby, Tarkowski lit the fuse when he boldly declared that Everton fans would leave Anfield with nothing to take back from the clash. It was a statement that stirred emotions on both sides, giving Liverpool even more motivation to put their rivals in their place. For Van Dijk, who thrives in high-pressure moments, those words became fuel for a personal vendetta, and what followed was a commanding performance filled with aggression, dominance, and a hint of nastiness that reminded everyone why he is still regarded as one of the best defenders in the world. From the very first whistle, Van Dijk made his presence known. He towered over Tarkowski in aerial duels, outmuscled him in every 50-50, and barked instructions at his teammates with the authority of a general leading his army into battle. Every time Tarkowski tried to step forward, Van Dijk was there to cut him down, almost as if he was deliberately sending a message to the Everton defender that this was his territory, and no one was allowed to challenge it. The crowd fed off the rivalry between the two defenders. Liverpool supporters roared every time Van Dijk won a duel, while Everton's away fans grew quieter with every passing minute, watching their captain struggle under the weight of the occasion. The more Tarkowski tried to respond, the more Van Dijk seemed to relish the battle, with his challenges becoming harder, sharper, and filled with the sort of edge that defines derbies of this magnitude. As the game progressed, Liverpool took complete control of the tie. The midfield suffocated Everton's creativity, the forwards pressed with relentless energy, and at the back, Van Dijk stood as an immovable wall. Tarkowski, who had come into the game with big words, was reduced to chasing shadows, unable to cope with the intensity of Liverpool's attacks or the defensive dominance of his opposite number. It was a nightmare afternoon for the Everton captain, and Van Dijk was the man orchestrating that nightmare. The turning point came midway through the second half when Liverpool scored their second goal. The celebration was wild, and Van Dijk was right in the thick of it, roaring at the Kop as if to declare that this was his city, his derby, and his kingdom. Cameras caught him turning toward Tarkowski during the celebrations, a subtle but powerful reminder that his pre-match bravado had been brutally silenced on the pitch. This wasn't just a football match, it was a statement. Van Dijk, often praised for his composure and elegance, showed a different side of his game, the ruthless competitor, the leader who thrives on intensity, and the warrior who will not tolerate disrespect in his backyard. For Everton fans, it was a painful reminder of the gulf that still exists between the two clubs, while for Liverpool fans, it was a moment to savor as their captain put on a masterclass in dominance. By the time the final whistle blew, the scoreline reflected Liverpool's superiority, but the real story of the match was written in the battle between Van Dijk and Tarkowski. The Everton captain had tried to stoke the fire, but it was Van Dijk who turned the flames into a raging inferno that consumed any hope of resistance. The handshake at full time was brief and cold, further evidence of the personal edge that had defined this chapter of the derby. Social media exploded with reactions, with fans labeling Van Dijk's performance as one of his fiercest yet. Memes, clips, and quotes spread like wildfire, with many mocking Tarkowski's pre-match comments that had aged terribly. Liverpool fans hailed their captain as the undisputed king of Merseyside, while neutral supporters marveled at the sheer intensity of the spectacle. For Tarkowski, this will be a derby to forget. His words had come back to haunt him, and he was forced to watch helplessly as Van Dijk dictated every moment of the game. But in football, sometimes these painful lessons serve as the fuel for future growth. Unfortunately for him, this time, the spotlight was firmly on his downfall, and Van Dijk made sure the entire world was watching. For Liverpool, however, this derby was more than just another victory. It was a symbolic moment, a reaffirmation of their dominance in the city, and a testament to their captain's leadership. Van Dijk not only defended like a rock, but he also embodied the spirit of Liverpool, a team that thrives on passion, fight, and belief. The derby was the perfect platform for him to remind everyone that while players may come and go, leaders like him define an era. Ultimately, this Merseyside derby will be remembered for Van Dijk's dark side, the ruthless, uncompromising edge that he rarely needs to show, but when unleashed, leaves opponents broken and humbled. Tarkowski had asked for a battle, and Van Dijk delivered one with brutal authority. In the end, there was no question left unanswered. Virgil van Dijk is the undisputed king of Merseyside, and this was his crowning moment.